This is one of the feel-good stories of the morning. A Queensland father has given his wife and kids the surprise of a lifetime after borders kept them apart for 3 months. And the heartwarming reunion was all captured on camera. Grab your tissues and check out the moment his children realised their dad was finally home.
I'm coming home tonight. I know you're ready for the stars to fly.
No, too late. I'm gone. I'm already gone.
Hugs all round. And we are so happy to say Val Fafuata and his wife
He's
Adeline,
gone too. He's gone again.
He's gone too.
Oh.
Their beautiful son Elijah. They join us now from Dakabin in Queensland. Good morning to you all. Val, gee.
Oh, mate.
How are you? How are you feeling? Clearly it's very emotional for you even hearing that happen again.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm still trying to get into terms with the whole ordeal and just being back home with my family again. Been such a long time coming, so.
It's such a powerful thing, Val. I mean, I'm feeling the emotions too for you as a dad as well. You've been working in Melbourne when this went into its 6th lockdown. You applied for up to 5 exemptions before finally one came through. So, I mean, that must have been really hard for you. So what happened next?
Yeah, so I got my exemption, got all my stuff together, and then drove up to the Queensland border and in Gundawindi, and I got to the border and the officers there said that my name wasn't on their list. Oh. So sorry, I have to turn you around. And so that was heartbreaking. Driving all that way, and my kids had already been talking to me and saying that they got a few more sleeps before Daddy comes home. Oh. So to hear that and then getting turned around broke my heart. So sorry.
It's okay, mate. You take your time.
Still a bit raw. So.
Of course.
And so my wife told me, she said, don't worry about it, we'll get through this, just find a motel and then we'll regroup again. So that's what I did, and I ended up, would have been 2.5 months later, I got my exemption to actually come through to Queensland again. Oh,
it's so cruel, isn't it? And, you know, so many families have been in this situation in recent months. Avalon, tell us the toll that this has taken on you.
Oh, it's taken a lot. It's been an absolute emotional roller coaster for me and the kids and my husband, obviously. Without the support of, you know, the church that I attend, Latter-day Saints, family and friends that are around, I wouldn't have been able to cope, really. And just my faith, knowing that the man upstairs is watching over us, and I'm just grateful that all our prayers were answered, that he was able to come home before Christmas.
How did you feel when he walked through the door?
Oh, I was still in shock that he was actually at the front door. And then it was straight to the surprise, like, oh, okay, the kids are waiting. And so the phones came out and we just went straight to recording, because the important thing is just to get the kids to see their father again. And
look at them with their
just to surprise them. Yeah.
Mate, there's no hug bigger than that first hug back home. Elijah, let's bring you in here, you and your brothers and sisters. I mean, you waited long and hard. How good was that first hug from Dad? Young man, if you start crying, I will not continue with this show. Do you understand?
We can't handle it.
You're an awesome
buddy.
young fella.
Oh, you were so happy to see your dad, weren't you? Oh, you sweet boy.
He was. He'd been hanging out for it, and Year 6 graduation, he had been praying that Dad would be home before then. So it's next week, so he's really happy
He
with
made
that.
it, mate. He
But
made it.
it's taken a lot out of these kids, yeah.
How are the others
He
holding up?
made it.
Yeah, the others have been good. My two younger ones, they were still in shock. The whole of... So I got out of hotel quarantine on Tuesday morning, and that's when we filmed that. And then the whole day, my daughter and my youngest son were just touching my face just to make sure that it was really me. And they didn't want me to go anywhere. Every time I would go out to the car, they were like, "You're not going back to Melbourne, are you?" You know, so it's still like this is what really impacts families that are stuck on the border, and I've got to witness it opened my eyes on what was happening there. So I've met a lot of friends, made a lot of new friends during this journey, not only in Moree but out in Kempsey as well. And you know, I'd like to, you know, big thank you to all those that have helped us, especially our family and friends, my mum, my dad and my sisters, my in-laws, and all of our friends, especially with the help of our church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and our North Lakes ward. You know, the support has been overwhelming.
I tell you what, your family has just touched us all, and the reunion is so special. I feel like I want to come over there and hug you guys now. It's just so much.
And Avalon, I suspect you'll be locking him in so he can never leave again, right?
Yeah, please do.
Oh, he's not going anywhere.
Elijah, Merry Christmas, mate. It's good to see
I won't
you.
let him leave the state.
Yes.
And good to see all of you.
Awesome.
And thank you so much for sharing your story
We're
with us.
so thrilled that you'll be all together for Christmas. Thank you so much for coming on this
All the
morning.
best to you all.
Hugs from all of us. And this is
Thank you
the
very
point.
much.
There are still families
Thanks for having
who
us.
are separated. There are people literally stuck in campsites on the Tweed who aren't allowed to go back to Queensland because they don't have a standalone house to
It
self-isolate.
is so cruel. I mean, it's so hard. I mean, look at us. We're not even those families, and we're a mess, you know. And I think all of Australia feels the same way. It's got to end.
Beautiful family. We're so pleased they're together this morning.